Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to Bucking Around, powered by Exs and Os. You know how the thing is. It's your boy, the Bronze Bomber, aka Mecca, or Mecca, aka the Bronze Bomber, whichever you prefer. Like I said, I hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's not too banged and bruised from this eventful weekend or should I say, maybe not so eventful weekend of BUCs American Football. Whether you had training or whether your game wasn't forfeited or how do I say, abandoned or forfeited by the frosty monster, as everybody's the big bad frosty monster, as everybody's alluding to. But yeah, I hope you had a good and as usual fruitful weekend. I hope if you got that W, congratulations. If your coach got that W and gave some wild celebration, congratulations. If you made it, if you already won your division, congratulations. But yeah, like I said, massive shout. I want to give first and foremost. I want to give a massive shout out to the Bucks organization. I had the pleasure of watching a really cool and really top tier game against the big bad UWE against the SCS Pride College. So that was a good game. That was good to get that on Bucks TV. I think that was the first time that Bucks had televised or invested in televising a BUCs American Football game. So that was good. I think that was over 7,000 or 6.8 thousand views so far, and it's only been like 2 days. So like I said, that's awesome for the sport and great for Bucks University Ball as a huge advert. So yeah, generally I hope everyone's obviously UW are still on this undefeated. You have two teams who are undefeated. Somebody's all had to go, and unfortunately the Filton Pride's one, or SGS Pride's O has now gone. But like I said, it was a good game. There were some other weird results across the league, which is crazy. Obviously, congrats again to the KCL Regents. Yeah. We know. We see you, one of our biggest supporters, one of our a team that's close to our heart. They've now progressed to they've won the division, so they won Div 2. Div 2 is hotting up. Like I said, the final is going to be very interesting, and without further ado, as you can see from the title, we've got the Surrey Stingers. See, the Surrey Stingers, we've got a bit of a history with the Surrey Stingers. So I'm going to bring in Coach Thomas. Is Thomas or is Coach Thomas? Is it or is your name just your first?
You can call me Tom, man. We'll keep it simple.
Nice, Tom. Nice one. Pleasure to have you on the show. How's things? How are you? And introduce yourselves to those in the free seats.
Appreciate it, Mecca. I'm Tom. I'm the offensive coordinator at the University of Surrey. Right. I started there as a player in 2017, and sort of 2021 transitioned to coaching there. Was very thankful to get the opportunity to join Coach Andy Scott's staff for about a year and a half before he decided to move on to bigger and better things. So now in this position with quite a small coaching staff, just doing our best to try and battle with some real competitive teams in Div 2 South.
Yeah. How's the season been going for you so far? Obviously, you're I always say the Div 2 is like a dogfight. Everybody's battling to get out of that, like crabs in the bucket kind of thing. So how has this season been going? How was the prep? How was it? The freshers fair. How's the team vibe been going?
So I think it's definitely been a challenge. As you said, Div 2 is tough, man. Like every team has fantastic players. There's a really good coaching staff scattered around. We went up against two really tough teams in OBU and Reading. Had a really good first showing against OBU, 32-30. Really clicking, doing some good things. And then, Reading, man, they've got a massive team, lots of talent, really deep coaching staff. So they presented a bit of a challenge. Don't think it was our best showing personally. Left some things out there on the field, but that's football, man. You learn lessons. You learn more lessons from losses than wins. So, but overall, man, it's been a good grind. Players have been working really hard from day one. We had a lot of work to do given where our team was at the end of last year. Really disappointing end to that season. But a lot of players have put in a lot of hard work over the summer. Really brought some good new skills into camp this year. Really exciting new rookies coming on the scene. Really looking to see what they can do in the second half of the year. So yeah, I think things are positive. Things are trending. We've got 4 games after Christmas, and I'm hoping to smash all 4 of them.
100%. Transitioning from a player to coach, how has that been? Because I'm sure there's many coaches like you who are one of the lads, who used to be out on you play on a Saturday or Sunday, and then on Monday night you're out on a bender, you're out with the lads. How has that transition been? For transitioning from ex-player or previous player to coach, and maintaining that level of respect. How has that transition been for you?
I think it's really I think it's about those relationships you have with the players. Like some of the players that I coach now, I did play with them, but I think you set expectations, you sort of set boundaries. Like the guys are just awesome guys, so they understand that we can have a joke, we can have a chat. Things are different in the group chat to how they are when we're just like back and forth in a training session. If I say you've got to do it like this, you got to still respect that that's coming from your coach, but then we can still go and kick it another time. Personally, I've loved the transition in way less pain than I used to be. Feels surprisingly good to go to bed at like 9-10 o'clock before a game and wake up at a reasonable human time rather than oh my god, just fueling yourself with Lucozade at stupid o'clock in the morning trying to get ready for a game. I've really enjoyed the transition. I'm definitely excited to see what more I can do with coaching. Definitely a better coach than a player, I would say so far. But no, I think the guys, in terms of with the guys, like they're awesome dudes. They're all really hardworking, so they haven't presented any challenges on that side.
Yeah. Brilliant. We're just gonna bring SJ in the building.
Oh, man, it's been a while. Apologies for the delay in getting over here.
The analyst is back, ladies and gentlemen. All you people in the free seats, all you ladies that wanted this guy to come back, finally, after popping the man, SJ, aka the analyst, is back in the building, baby.
Back. I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show as well, Thomas. And congrats on the role, because this is your first year doing it, and not bad start.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So you're you're one-on-one. You're a young coach. Obviously, you're coming off a really good coach. Almost like the players' coach. We know Coach Andy Scott really well. We know what he's about. We know what he's done with the likes of the Jack Tag. We know the reputation he's built over the years from bringing the Surrey Stingers from when they were literally nothing. To almost that success story from nothing to something. We saw that transition. We saw him almost build the team back up with his bare hands. What type of pressure does that put on you? I just want to ask you, does that put any pressure on you to fill those shoes?
I think it definitely puts pressure on us as a staff. I definitely don't burden all the weight myself. I'm one cog in a big machine. There's however many players, there's multiple coaches that all do really important things at their position. So I definitely don't bear the weight personally. I think as an organization, we've got a lot to do. Andy obviously took us from nothing to some real heights, as you put. And obviously, he's a larger than life character, touched many people in the British football community. So it's definitely a challenge. But I think, as we continue to try and look to recruit more coaches into this organization, and we try and, keep recruiting good rookies, maybe try and find some guys that come in sort of through the under 19 ranks, looking to university, see if we can provide a pathway for them to play some good football. And hopefully we'll start to, build things back up.
So how would you say things have gone so far this year? So only 2 games this side of Christmas. It's a bit stacked, but how are you feeling so far? How are the guys feeling in the camp?
I'm feeling confident. I think it's definitely, it's a hard slog, especially when you're a rookie. Maybe you haven't played competitive sport before, or you've played different sports where things are different. Going into Tuesday night training, Thursday night film, Sunday night training, reading installs, learning playbooks. Like, it's a lot for people to take in. And I think, a lot of guys, they're very fresh for 6 weeks or so. And then suddenly, like, there's that moment it clicks. And there's definitely quite a few guys where they've had that moment where it's clicked and they're starting to like really ramp it up. It's a shame we didn't get to play the game against Winchester due to the pitch being moved and stuff, because I had an idea that there were some rookies that are really going to sort of put on their first sort of big showing. But we got 4 games after Christmas, so really looking forward to what they'll do in those games instead. But I would say overall the vibe is positive. I think we knew this season was going to be challenging coming into it. It's lived up to that. But everybody's still very determined to push through and see if we can maybe get a little bit of a playoff run going and try and make some noise in the second half of the year.
So I was going to say for you, so you're relatively very new coach. For you, you're talking about bringing coaches in and stuff like that. How do you go about that as someone that potentially doesn't have an immense coaching network? You know, how do you bring these people in? Do you go and speak to players that you potentially played with? Do you go to Coach Scott and say to him, is there anything that you can help me with? So what do you do?
So I think there's definitely lots of different ways you can go about it. Obviously, there are players that have connections with other coaches. They can try and use that. We've got a couple of coaches on the staff more senior than myself that have those connections. They've been, really tapping those lines, trying to bring people in. I'm going to go with the boots on the ground approach. I've got myself involved in the Kent Exiles for the upcoming season. Trying to get involved with GB Under-19 a bit. Maybe show some people, the kinds of people that are working at Surrey, and see if we can encourage them to come in that way. There's nothing better than putting a good example out there, especially when you don't have those connections. You go somewhere, you work hard, you show what you're about, and maybe people will be on board with it. And I'm just hoping that people will feel the energy, they'll see that I'm 100% committed, putting the work in, and that they'll want to be around people like that,
The team mottos. So is SJ's wearing the Loughborough top today. What do you say? SJ, are you? People are asking, man. Are you moving to Loughborough? Are you jumping ship?
Do you know what it is? Nah, listen. Right, what it is it's just a very comfy jumper. Credit's due. When it's really cold like this is probably the warmest jumper. So that's the reason I'm looking at it. But it is great. This isn't me plugging Loughborough. Just this isn't me plugging Loughborough.
Trust me. So your team motto this year, if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, is rise above. Coach, what does that mean? What does that mean to you as maybe a coach or ex-player? What is that kind of this new kind of rise above philosophy all about for those that don't know?
I think Surrey gets pegged with certain expectations. I'm not going to beat around the bush and say that Surrey's the most. We're regarded as soft. In the past we've been a little bit softer. We're a little bit smaller. We don't always have the most coaches. We don't always have the most players. But regardless, you've got to just beat those expectations. Like when I was a player, I was like 6 foot 9.5 stone soaking wet, and I would still go downfield and get some jump balls over people. Like nobody expects that, but you just got to go and put on a show. And that's the same thing with these players. Like they've just, nobody's pegging us to be the best team in the league. I'm sure that people were expecting us to lose to Reading. You know what? It happened. So what? We've got 4 games coming up. Not sure if we'll be favoured in all of them, regardless of whether you're favoured or not. You just got to go out there, put on a show, punching people in the mouth, and make sure that they go away from that game knowing that they played the Surrey Stingers.
You got some powerhouses, man. You got some powerhouses. Let's not forget that you got the likes of, the likes of Ed Aries, who was with the Aztecs, I think, this summer. You got the likes of Elliot Lampard. Kind of these stalwart, kind of what I call like skippers in the team. These guys. What kind of impact do the likes of these players, have on the team?
Oh, it's hard to even describe the what they contribute. Like on the field, just as players alone, like we've got some fantastic players on both sides of the ball, and like as an offensive coordinator, it's almost a challenge because anytime you call a play, you're likely taking the ball out of some stud's hands. We've got so many good receivers, we've got a couple of good running backs in the room, we've got a quarterback who can get the ball to them, and it's like if you call a bubble screen to your slot receiver, you're like, damn. Charles isn't going to be getting that ball on a deep ball. So, or like if you call if you call a pass and you're like, well, now our running back ain't going to be like chopping up through the tackles. But it's positive problems. It's what you want. But in terms of like the leadership, like these guys are just like they're so committed, they're so focused. They've been around it. They do a good job, I think, of letting the guys know, what it takes to put the work in to be at the level that you need to be. Like he's going to be playing for a while, I imagine. But as soon as he's not, like, he better be on my hip as a coach. Like, that man is just built to coach.
Yeah.
Elliot's just such a powerful motivator, puts so much work in to get things organized, to just really like bring the guys together. Like, it's having those players like that. It makes it so much easier as a coach because you've got that bridge to them. And I know that I can probably grind on the guys the same way that the other coaches do when it's just constantly, come on, keep going. But when you've got those guys that can soften the blow, and can try and like help players to understand where coaches are coming from, like, it's all out of a place of love. And sometimes it can be hurtful. Like, sometimes when you're being told to step up or that's not good enough, it can drag on people. But when they realize that actually, it's just because that's what you want, you need them to be better, and you're trying to help them achieve their potential, like, having that guy in between just really helps make that nice and easy.
We got the president in the building, so we're gonna add President Harry. What's good? There's no rules in bucking around. Harry, what's good? Apparently you weren't gonna come, but you could feel the source and the vibe, and he's like, listen, can't miss out on bucking around. What's good, Harry? Like I said, introduce yourself to those in the bucking around free seats. Tell them who you are, what you do, what your position, and also you have to tell them one thing that your players don't know about you.
God. I'm Harry, the president of this thing is. I mean, I've only been around for about a year and a half, 2 years now, but I've managed to wangle my way in to the hot seat. But no, God, there's not a lot they won't know. I'm quite an open book, but no, I'll struggle with that one. I'll have to come back to me with that one. But
no problem. How you feeling? What's good? How you been generally? You okay?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just going from work. Didn't think I was going to make it, but saw the.
I'll tell you what. That's a good. I like the backdrop. I like your backdrop. That's a good. You got a good collection of photos on the back there. So impressive.
Yeah. Who is at the back? Who is that at the back?
Yeah, a bit of Liam Gallagher up there at the moment.
Is that Liam? You're joking.
We got a bit of Liam Gallagher. Yeah.
That's perfect. So, give us your best version. Give us your favorite. Sing us your favorite Liam Gallagher song. Go on. Over to you, Harry. It's Monday. Like I said, it's bucking around. We're here now.
I like a bit of Wonderwall.
Let's go. I'll help you out.
I'll tell you what. You'll lose viewers. You'll lose viewers singing stuff to that one.
Let's go. Listen, this is bucking around. There's no rules. Let's go.
This is maybe what the players don't know about you. Is what your favorite song is.
Just trying
there you go. We've got your answer.
No, trust me. They know I can't sing. They know I can't sing.
Yeah. You sure?
I'm gonna have to dodge the singing. I'm gonna have to dodge the singing.
Okay, well, right. Shout out George Beltran in the building in the free seats. We see you. George Beltran says, "Big up LG." Like I said, we see you in the building, George. Welcome to Bucking Around, man. So the season's still well underway. You're currently sitting at 1-1, if I'm correct. You had a tight game against OBU. You lost against the Reading. Who you got next, and how you looking forward to what you looking forward to in that game?
We lost him.
Are they gone? Thomas, I'll put that to you. Harry, jump back in.
I'm not too sure who our next game is, actually. I think it might be, we've got to do some scheduling. So it's either going to be Winchester or University of Brighton, both of which they present very different challenges, but neither of them will be easy, especially after Christmas. Every coach knows how difficult it is to get the players ready after, especially those rookies that have gone home. They've had a good time. They've, they might have been able to catch up with some people they haven't seen for a while. They're having some fun. But I'm sure we'll get the guys well drilled and sorted and fresh back for game one after the break.
Yeah. Any big rivalries that we don't know about? Is there any teams that you're really looking to to beating on a Sunday? Is there any team that you're going to be extra switched on for this season?
I mean, I'm always personally switched on to Brighton, man. I've had good success against Brighton in my career. Like we beat them to clinch a playoff spot in my first year. Had a big catch, put us down to the 2-yard line, and under a minute left to win that game. That was big. We managed to beat them without a quarterback in my last year. That was a big game again. Yeah, we've had some interesting battles in the past. I'm looking forward to it. I love playing at Brighton as well. Like I loved playing at Brighton, man. Their pitch is nice. It's
It's
fast.
just the pitch in it. The pitch is nice.
Man. That pitch is rapid. Like
Serious?
you've got guys that could barely get from one side of the field to the other on grass, and they're running 4.5s. Like it is a fast pitch. It's a good place to play if you want to throw the ball around a bit or you want to get that outside run working. I'm excited to play there, and they offer a decent challenge. They've got a really good offense. They always hit very hard on defense. But I'm really excited to play against Brighton this year. I think I look at us and them as probably battling for that 2 spot. Solent have definitely been making some noise, but I think it should be us and Brighton, and I'm definitely interested to see how that game plays out.
Likewise, like I said, we're interested to see. Like I said, it's hot in Div 2. A lot of people are like, Div 2, you should scrap it. But listen, I'm keeping a watchful eye on Div 2 because I feel like there's going to be a massive shock. It's going to be like the World Cup, how the World Cup's been a massive shock. Every game, Morocco, living their best life. You don't know who's really going to be in that final, especially in Div 2, including Div 1.
I think it's a tough one. It's such a tough one. I think Div 2 South, I think it's probably one of the toughest divisions overall. The quality is there. There's a lot of teams in that division that they're not D2 teams.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the teams in your division could beat. Yeah, they've moved over, haven't they? And then Reading moved over from the south, and then Brighton dropped down the year before you. And there's a lot of teams in there that are really, really challenging.
Yeah,
so
we get a lot of kind of like aggro from other teams that used to be in our division and stuff. And I mean, look, I've played 2 seasons. It's my second season, so I haven't got the most experience in the world. But what I will say is I've definitely seen that there can be somewhat better quality in the division we're actually in now. The team we've got now, I would actually say, talent-wise and ability, is probably stronger than our team was last year. But that doesn't necessarily mean because we played D1 last year that we're going to get out of that this year back up. And we get a lot of like I said, a lot of aggro from the teams that we used to play from, and we always kind of laugh it off because in Division 1, there's always going to be 1 or 2 teams that aren't as strong, which means you're going to play them twice. You play everyone twice. So if you beat them if you smash them the first time, the second time round, you've anticipate doing it again. But in our division, you play them once, and then after that you move on. That's it. You're not going to see them again. So I think I'd actually say Division 2 it's opened my eyes a bit. Going into it, I definitely thought maybe it wouldn't be as strong as it is. But the fact that you only play every team once, you can't learn. You can't play a team, kind of learn what their strengths are, and then kind of regroup for the next time.
It really is.
Every game is completely fresh.
Yeah, it really is I think to go up, you've got to go 6 and 0. I think from what I've seen, from when I was in Division 2 back in 2016, it was go 6 and 0 to go up. Because if you lose that one game, it changes things rapidly. And the fact, like you said, you only play each team once. That is tough because you could be full strength one week, and next week you're playing a team that you should beat on paper, but X, Y, and Z are all injured. So now chances of you winning is probably dropped. It's strange. They're two strange place.
The fascinating thing I found about Div 2 is like the play style for Div 2 has completely changed. Like I remember, here in Div 2, it's ground and pound. It's run that ball. You won't see a pass thrown all game. And like the ball is being aired out in Div 2, man. Like teams are willing to throw that ball. It's spread it out, get the ball into guys' hands quickly. You got QVs that can throw. You've got offenses that are getting them in positions to throw balls they're capable of throwing. Like it's balanced. Like it's really surprised me how teams are approaching football, and it's exciting. Like it's exciting to see that across the country, different teams are going about different ways of playing rather than just the old ground and pound and just tearing that field up and just seeing who came with the most pounds on them.
So what's the plan over Christmas? I don't mean like what you're doing with your mum and your dad. I mean, what are you doing in terms of training? Are you guys doing anything? Have you given any advice to the players to take over Christmas? Is Harry going to come back weighing 200 kg and he can bench you? What's that?
I hope not. He came in slow as hell anyway. He doesn't need to put more.
Oh, mate.
I mean, with it being kind of Uniballer, we can't carry on sessions over Christmas. There's not going to be anyone there. Everyone's starting to go home now. We're already looking at a couple of people. A lot of the teams already gone home. So a lot of it will go down to kind of the individuals, how you're going to work over Christmas. Obviously, we want people in the gym. We want people getting fit again. Now's a good time to get rid of any injuries that you're carrying from the first 2 or 3 games. Obviously, 2 for us. So a lot of like rest and recovery. Get in the gym. Let's put on a few pounds of muscle, not of fat. Yeah, let's keep away from the pigs in blankets and pick up the dumbbells instead. But a lot of the onus goes down to the players, and with kind of a group of 40, 50, 18 to 23-year-olds, we'll see. We're hoping, and I believe in the boys that we're going to go and we're going to do the work that's necessary. I know a good percentage of the team will, and they'll be the boys that push us through to try and get the 4 wins at the end. So we'll see.
So what we say? We say night this season, national championship.
It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Never say never and all. But being a realist, we want to try and pick up the last 4 wins, and we want to be pushing hot on the heels of Reading. It's in their hands now. We don't play them again. It's in their hands. We've put it into a bit. We've made it so it doesn't just rely on us. We can win all 4 games, and that's the most we can do. Hopefully, they slip up 1 or 2. If they do, we'll be there to catch them. So.
Coach, you're a young coach. So go on. Actually.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, there's still that opportunity of silverware. Big promotion isn't that end goal. So there's still lots to play for. It's a long old season. You could potentially still have 7 more games. You could technically have 7 more games, which is crazy.
You just got to play it week by week, man. I mean, it's win by it's game by game. I mean, we can slip up against a game we're meant to win in the next week, and all of those extra games we're talking about don't mean anything. You can only win the next game. You can only influence that game. Obviously, we're going to be doing some thinking and some game planning, thinking about some of the games in the future as we've got film on those teams. But as soon as January 3rd hits and we have our first training session after Christmas, only focus is the next game that's coming up. All that other stuff, it will come if you put the work in. If you put the grind in every week, you train hard, you go over your playbook and all of that stuff, the results will come, trophies will come, but you've just got to put in the work every single day, and it'll all follow.
Coach, you're a young coach, and to give. So I remember I was in uni. I was a bit wild. I put my hands up, man. I had a good time, but have you had to give anybody that hairdryer treatment yet? Have you, or is it not your style? Some coaches say it's not their style, but if you have had to, tell us about that experience. Obviously, because that's a part of coaching where you have to, balance how you manage the players. So tell us about your experience about managing the discipline.
I'm not the most loving guy in the world towards my players. I think, but there's for every time you shout at a guy, you've also got to give him a pat on the back. There's a saying by Coach Nick Saban that I love, and it's basically aggressiveness. What was it? Basically saying that passion looks like aggressiveness to the unmotivated, and it's it when it means so much to you, when you care so much, not just about the team, the results, but the individual players. I want to see players like Harry succeed. I want to see Ed Elliot, other players succeed, you know. So you care and you get invested a lot. And sometimes, you know, you're not necessarily always going to have your emotions in check. You might call a guy out and be a little bit harsher on him than he needs to be. But I think I always try to make sure that the guys know that it's coming from a good place. I try to have individual conversations with guys wherever I can when there might have been something that might make them feel away. Even if it's just, you know, they're playing a different position in training. How are you feeling? Are you comfortable? You know, it's for X reason and not Y reason. It's not reflective on you. Like, I think as long as you're constantly having conversations with players, letting them know where they fit into what's going on, where their place is, what you expect from them, are they meeting those expectations? I think you're always going to have a better relationship with your players than if you're just randomly shouting at them and they're like, why is he shouting at me? I don't know what the reason is behind it. Not everybody's going to love it, but at the same time, you know, if you want to be in a competitive sported environment, you got to understand tensions are going to get hot.
Yeah, 100%. I see you guys are looking a little bit hairy. I know you got that sponsorship with Clean Cuts Barbershop in Guildford. Tell us about that, because that's a little collabo, you know. That's a nice little sponsorship. So tell us about how that kind of came about and what, you know, for those in the free seats that don't know, tell us about your collaboration with Clean Cuts. Shout out Clean Cuts Barbershop in Guildford as well. But tell us about that.
Those guys are cool. I haven't been down there. I'm on my placement year, so I don't spend a lot of the week in Guildford. I'm up and down for training. But that was sourced through our treasurer, Elliot, who was meant to be on here today, but he's not very well. But that guy, he's all about how he looks. He loves it. Spends way too much time in the gym and probably way too much time in the hairdressers. But no, those guys are cool. So they will give free haircuts to match MVPs, things like that.
Nice.
They haven't asked for a lot. They're really cool guys. They get down, they watch our games. Couldn't ask for a better sponsor, to be honest. They're good.
Hey, I've never had I went in there to get my haircut done like August when I heard that we were getting the collab done. Like I went from talking about the NFL to UFC to sports business and politics, and then like philosophy about like all sorts of crazy stuff. Like Sid the Barber man, he's a sweet one. They're just awesome dudes, and it's just great to have some local businesses that want to support what we're doing.
Yeah, man. If you look good, you play good, man. Get that kick. You know, you got to look good, play good. Look at SJ, man. He's a specimen of a man. You know. Shout out SJ, the analyst. I'm gassed that SJ's back on the show. You don't understand, man. SJ's back in the building.
I've been busy. I think you thought I'd left after. I think you thought I'd just given up on football after that Brunel Essex game, didn't you?
Listen, Brunel. Shout out Brunel. Brunel going for it, man. But you know, we got love for Brunel. Brunel will always stabilize. You know, they always stable the shit. You know.
I was going to say, Coach, Thomas, were you there? What years were you playing at? Sorry, were you there?
I was there in 17 and 18 and 19 when we had some very difficult games.
Tell us about those difficult games.
In all honesty, right, the Surrey games were always the most annoying one for us because they were always tough. I'll be honest, they were always tough. It was, you know, I think every other team we had one game where we did absolutely slap them. I think with Surrey, it was always just annoying, and I think that comes down to Coach Scott just knowing the business more than anything. Well, no, it was good fun. I was upset when they moved us to the southeast because I'll be honest, I hate traveling to Kent and I hate traveling all the way to Essex. It's not fun.
Huge shout out to Coach Luke Martin as well. Now over at UWE, like the defenses that he put together, like that man is a genius. Like he will make sure that everything is sound, putting guys in the right spots. He will know your calls straight away. He will have players flooding over to fill everything that's happening. Like we played against teams that we had no right like stopping them, and like our defense would outscore our offense. Like and we had some talented players on that side of the ball, but what he could do with just the pieces you gave him, like that's an incredible man. He's taught like our DC everything he knows is from that dude. Like that guy is just incredible, and yeah, really happy to see him succeeding at UWE, and hope he gets more opportunities to keep going forward, because him and Andy obviously doing incredible things. But yeah, worth shouting out him as well, because he did some incredible things for those Surrey teams in the past.
Harry, man, congrats on your presidency. Obviously, you have your predecessor is the infamous Lucy PT, as we know. She was a previous president. And she's an awesome person.
Big up GB women.
Yeah, shout out to you. Like I said, we were in Finland. It was. Oh yeah, I just clocked. I still need to do. Anyway, I won't get into that. I still got some stuff to do about that. But yeah. We got a movie coming for the ladies Finland, the Finland IFF World Champ. So that's on the way. Watch this space for that. Harry, so you're president now. What's your kind of your 5-point plan, 2.1 plan? Do you have any vision for this new and improved Surrey Stingers? What you're trying to build, in the program, and what's your kind of your future plans?
So I think the biggest thing is I think it came as a shock to the people that have been around the club for quite a while that I ended up getting it. There's some guys in the team that have been here for years that are natural leaders, and I think it came as a shock when I came out as the one that got it. And I think if we'd run the AGM on a different day, maybe it had gone a different way. It was super close between the guys that went for it. But the thing I wanted to bring in was kind of stability in establishing us as like a sports club.
Yeah.
So there's obviously presidents will come in and say, I want to win the division, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I think the biggest thing I've seen in different societies at unis is they're not the most stable and functional clubs. They are societies, and I wanted to come in and kind of piece together all the things that you need to succeed off the field. So a lot of it was the way we train, and we've brought in kind of actual strength and conditioning in the gym, and kind of making sure we have all the kit that we actually need. So a lot of it needed replacing. We've spent the money in the areas that we needed to. All new balls, all the new tackle bags, everything's coming in. We're spending the money where it needs to be spent. And a lot of it was kind of organizational, using the committee. So myself, Elliot, and a guy called Tristan, who's our VP. I'd say you'd be pushed to find a team like a SIGs committee that work as in sync as we do. I mean, that's probably the longest you'll go in a day without one of us popping a message in the chat is an hour.
Wow.
We pride ourselves on being a close link to the coaches, so we've got a chat with the SIGs and the coaches. We know what's going on at all times, and we just want to make sure that we put the boys that we've got in the best position to succeed on and off the field, whether that's in football or elsewhere. Getting the team functioning as a team and as a club instead of just as a society. That was kind of what I pushed for. And I like to think it's going well so far, but we'll see at the end of the year how I go down.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, man. It's nice to see. I think a lot of people get this thing in their head of it's all or nothing every year, but you've got to build it up. You can't.
Stability.
It's not. Like everyone says, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's the same with all this stuff. I'd love a committee like you guys at Brunel. I'll be honest.
Shut up, Brunel. Brunel's going through a tough time, man. They'll get it in the end.
But
it's
man, it's the fundamentals to success. Is you keep the house tidy off the field, you can go out and play on Sundays with no stresses. Do you know what I mean? If you guys can all turn up on Sunday and know everything's in order, beautiful.
It's
I think the biggest shout out. Sorry, just the biggest shout out. And I mean, you've got me president, you got Tristan vice president, but we've got Elliot.
Sorry, shout out Sam Pettican in the building, the infamous, the renowned, my family, Sam Pettican in the building. People. If you know, you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Shout out Sam. Listen, Sam, it's all love. There's no shame. We won't get into it. But yes, sorry, Harry, continue.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say, I mean, you've got me and Tristan. We both work, so I'm on my placement year, so I'm working throughout the day. And by the time I come home in the evening, I read the emails that the club's been sent. Elliot's already on it. That guy lives and breathes Stingers. That guy is crazy. Like, he does everything. He puts every single living second into the club. And I mean, just want to give a shout out to Elliot, who obviously wasn't able to be here today, but that guy he's what keeps this club ticking over. And I don't think there's a lot of people that realize that. I mean, the coaches and the SIGs know, but in terms of the players, Elliot keeps the club ticking over. He's kind of a driving force on what we're pushing for this season.
Yeah, the stuff that they do is just like, it just makes our life so much easier. Like, as a coach, when you don't have to worry about different bits and bobs, committee's handled it, committee's making decisions. Like, I just get to focus on football. Like, that is just such a blessing compared to what other coaches at other universities across up and down the country have to deal with. Yeah, guys work tirelessly, man, and it's definitely paid off so far this year.
Damn. We can't wait. Like I said, we can't wait to see how everything unfolds. We'll be keeping a watchful eye. You know, SJ as usual will be keeping a watchful eye and keeping me informed as to what's going. Because there's so much happening. This everything's changed. But like I said, I'm trying to keep with the tutelage from SJ. I'm trying to keep abreast and keep connected with you guys. So that's awesome.
I'm Fabrizio, mate. I'm here every week with new inside scoops. That's what I'm here for.
Trust me. Where can people, you know, for new fans, where can they kind of follow you on socials? You have your socials that people can follow you on.
Yeah, we're the Surrey Stingers on Instagram, all one word. That's another thing we've pushed for this year. Our social media is really looking pretty tidy, if I may say so myself. We've got one of our coaches.
Let me go check that
You can have a go. One of our coaches, Ben. He's out there with a camera every game. We get sessions, photo shoots, things like that. We're trying to work on a photo shoot now with a guy that I know. So expect some cold things on there. But no, we're pushing for that. It looks good. It's worth a follow.
That's very nice. It's very nice stuff. I'll be honest, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Shout out Charles Chimali said, don't forget the TikTok. You guys have TikTok?
Oh, we do.
Please tell me about that.
Well, I don't do this. I actually haven't had a look at it. I'm a bit scared now. I've just pulled up my phone to have a little look. But yeah, I'm sure if we have a TikTok, go over and follow that too. I know Charles is a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to TikTok. That guy's crazy. Some of the things I see him
TikTok
doing.
TikTok
but no.
For American football teams is the funniest thing. It's like their dirty little secret. They don't. It's not. It's like out there for everyone. That's just part of the club. They don't like anyone else seeing it. It's just there.
I know.
So we don't have any videos on there at the moment. But I saw the Bath. My girlfriend actually, just out of nowhere, she showed me it and was like, "Oh, do you know these?" And it was the Bath, like killer bees, Bath bees. Yeah, they have a TikTok, and that was pretty funny. I mean, I think there's only 2 videos on there, but they both had a little chuckle at that, so it might be worth a go if you're into your American football TikTok.
Yeah, that's dope. As is customary, we always have our 2-minute drill. I'm sure you've heard of this. I'm sure you've had sleepless nights and cold sweats about this 2-minute drill. This 2-minute drill is where myself and SJ get to ask our guests any question we like. You got 2 minutes to answer it. You can't fumble the ball. You got one play. You got to answer the question. There's no ifs, no buts, no maybes. So, coach, I'm going to ask you this. There's a scenario where the players are challenging you, and they've been smoking you, saying, back in your day, blah blah blah. You want to be able to smoke us. So the players challenge you to a 5-on-5. The best coaches. You have your coaches. And you get to pick five active players to go against you in a flag tournament. Versus coaches versus players. Who's getting smoked?
Man, all of them, bro. Like, literally, all of them. Give me pads, give me a helmet, screw the flags. Like, I'm getting jump balls on these guys. I'm breaking ankles. If I need to drop back and hit somebody in the pocket, I will. I can drop dimes still as well. Like,
trust me,
all of them. Line up any of them, and they are done. I wouldn't do it
Chelsea.
because I'm scared that I would actually snap their ankles, and we don't need that to happen. We've got 4 more games left. We don't need injuries. As soon as Game 6, or as soon as maybe the playoffs are wrapped up, pads are coming on, grad sport is on, and these guys are going to be left in the dust.
Thomas, legend. Harry, unfortunately, you can't respond. The 2 minutes is over, so you can't respond. We'll leave it at that. Shout out everybody in the free season, man. It's been bucking around. Sorry, Stingers. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We see you in the free season. Everyone in the free in the super bucking around super chat free season. Appreciate you bringing the vibe, bringing the sauce. Like I said, we'll keep it cracking. Like I said, every week. Follow us at X's and O's team. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, channel. That's where you get the instant notifications when we're going live and etc. But like I said, tune in, keep it locked. Like I said, guys, we wish you all the best for your season. Like I said, don't be strangers. Keep in touch. Me and SJ, as I keep saying, we're trying to do a little tour. You know, we might come down to Surrey and see the thing, you know, how the city set and how the things set. What are you saying, SJ?
Listen, man, give me a time and a place. Just not.
That's it.
Not during my season.
Yeah, I hear you. It says the man with the Loughborough shirt, but we won't go into that. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on the show. I really appreciate you coming on. Keep it locked. Everyone in the free seats, peace.